Good morning, guys. Buenos días. Dr. G with you in your Spanish 111 Elementary Spanish 1 class this summer. This is the plan for today. We're going to learn how to compare. So the goal of the day for that session is that at the end of that period, you guys are going to be able to compare objects and people. Okay. And first cover the faith integration piece of the day. I love the power and the blessing that this and all the Psalms should give us. And I wanted to share with you this one, chicos. Salmo 27. El Señor es mi luz y mi salvación. ¿De quién temeré? El Señor es la fortaleza de mi vida. ¿De quién he de atemorizarme? Aunque un ejército acampe contra mí, no temerá mi corazón. Aunque contra mí se levante guerra, yo estaré confiada. Hubiera yo desmayado si no creyese que veré la bondad del Señor en la tierra de los vivientes. Aguarda al Señor, esfuérzate y aliéntese tu corazón. Sí, espera al Señor. God bless us through His word, chicos. Amen. Okay, so having said that, let's talk about comparisons. Then when we're trying to compare in Spanish, we have to think about equality and inequality. See? So when we compare equality, we say that both elements that we're comparing are equals. And to express that, we use some specific tools. In English, you see the examples here, as and as. See, mainly that's the same elements that you guys use in every single structure of English. In Spanish, we use tan, but that depending on what we are comparing, an adjective, an adverb, or a noun, working as a subject or working as a direct object, we use a different version of tan. It would be only tan for adjective and adverbs, and it would be tanto, tanta, tantos, and tantas with nouns, okay? Because the tanto element is going to be the part of the adjective itself. So we have to pay attention to agreement. Let me show you these examples. Oh, look at that. For verbs, we use tanto too, again, but let's see. I have this document. I hope that this helps you understand and practice this structure. Let's think about Lee University and Cleveland State. What can we say about these two universities when we are comparing? What happens in comparison is that you put together two elements to offer more information via comparison. So let's see what information can we provide about these two universities using comparison as the tool. Okay? We could compare from Cleveland and Lee, Cleveland State and Lee, we could compare students, professors, activities, sports. We could compare a campus, las clases, las chicas, los muchachos, and those are just elements of the two universities that we could provide you more information by using the comparison. Let's see what we have here. Let's go with las chicas, the girls, las chicas del University son tan guapas como las chicas de Cleveland State. Los muchachos de Lee University son tan talentosos como los muchachos de Cleveland State. Los profesores de Lee y los profesores de Cleveland State son tan eficientes como los profesores de Cleveland State. ¿Sí? In this part, we are comparing equality. The level is equality, and we are comparing adjective. We see guapas, we see talentosos, and we see eficientes. Those are adjectives that are describing the nouns. And you see how guapas agrees in gender and number with chicas. See? Yes, it's the same subject, first and second items, but pay attention that the agreement will happen only with the first noun, not with the second. We could say las profesoras son tan eficientes o son tan talentosas, and we have to use agreement with the first noun, ¿sí? Let's compare more. Let's go with this type of sentences. Las chicas de Lee trabajan tan rápidamente como las chicas de Cleveland State. This is again at the same level, okay? Comparison of equality. Los muchachos de Lee University hablan tan talentosamente como los muchachos de Cleveland State. And the last one, los profesores de Lee enseñan tan eficientemente como los profesores de Cleveland State. Okay? In this part, we are again comparing equally, the level is equality, but in this case, we are not working on adjective, we're saying adverbs. This adverb is not talking about the chicas, but the way they work, okay? So in this case, pay attention that the adverb, which modifies an adjective, an adverb, or a verb, is talking about the action, see? So, and we're saying that they work equally well, see? Or equally with talent. See? This talentosamente is not talking about the muchachos, it's talking about the action. See? It's modifying the action hablan. Okay? And this is an adverb. We don't need agreement in gender or number with adverbs. Okay? So when we say tan talentosamente, as talented, with talent, we're talking about the way the professor teach, see? So in adverbs, the adverb modifies an adjective, an action, or another adverb, and it doesn't have to show gender and number agreement, okay? And equally will require tan, always tan, and then the second element is gonna be como, which connects the second element being compare. Muy bien, let's switch now to the zebras, okay? Let's talk about these zebras, and we're gonna compare again equally, but in this case, we're gonna compare the action, see? Let's see Josefa. Josefa eats as much as Toño, see? This is Josefa, and this is Toño, and they eat equally. See? So Josefa come tanto como. So we have the action here, and the elements of the comparison that connect first part with second part are tanto como, and they go together, and there is no agreement. It's always going to be tanto como. Action, and then tanto como, and then second element that is in the comparison. So Josefa eats as much as Toño. So that's what we're doing here. Pachi bebe tanto como Leticia. You see, Pachi bebe is the action, and then Leticia drinks as much as Pachi, so tanto como. And we have Leticia y Josefa corren, the action being conjugated according to the first subject again, which is these two, como Pachi, see, tanto como Pachi. Josefa duerme tanto como Pachi. Josefa sleeps as much as Pachi. So what we're doing here is we are comparing equally, the same level, equality, and it's the action that we're comparing. Let me continue now. Let's talk about nouns, but the noun, and I'm gonna put all the sentences here because I want the structure on the bottom. See, we are comparing equality. See, the level is a comparison of equality, but we are working on nouns that are direct objects in the sentence, see? See, so I work 10 hours. She works 10 hours. 10 hours is my direct object, see? And that direct object is what I'm comparing, see? So let's pay attention to this. Josefa runs. Let's say Josefa runs 10 miles. Antonio runs 10 miles. So what do they run? Miles, 10 miles. 10 miles is my direct object. See, and that's why I am using to compare this, the noun that works as the direct object in the sentence. So Josefa corre tantas millas como Toño. See, so we're gonna need tanto, but in the version that makes agreement with the noun, and the noun being the direct object here is millas, which is feminine, and it's plural, so I need to show feminine plural in tantos. Como not need to make agreement, it's just the connector with the second element. So Josefa corre tantas millas como Toño. So here we see agreement. Here we see agreement. Let's continue. Leticia y Josefa comen tanta hierba como Pachi. So notice that hierba is feminine singular, then I need to show that version feminine singular in tanta, tanto, tantas, and tantos. Pachi tiene tantas rayas, stripes. Pachi tiene tantas rayas como Josefa. Let's say that Pachi tiene 20 rayas and Josefa tiene 20 rayas. So what do they have? Rayas. Rayas is the noun that is working as direct object, and I'm using it to compare. This comparison of equality between the noun that is the direct object. Now the last two ones are Toño y Pachi beben tanta agua. They drink what? They drink water. And they drink the same amount of water. So Pachi y Toño beben tanta agua como Josefa. Agua being feminine singular, I need tanta version. And then they sleep as many hours. See, Josefa duerme, no duermen, duerme tantas horas como Pachi. They sleep the same amount. What we are putting here together is two sentences. Josefa duerme 8 hours. Pachi duerme 8 hours, 8 horas. And then I'm using comparison to provide the same information or almost the same type of information in one sentence via comparison. So, Josefa duerme tantas horas como Pachi. Let's work at the level of inequality. See, inequality. One is going to be more or less than the other. See? So we're going to use the Grammys and this information from Enrique Iglesias and Gloria Estefan and Paulina Rubio and Juanes. Here we also have Rubén Blades and Cristina Aguilera. These are famous Latin American artists. All of them are singers. And we are comparing them. Look at the information. We know when they were born. We know how tall they are. We know how many Grammys they have won, and we know how many albums they have sold. That information is the one, or how they look. That's gonna be what we're gonna use to compare them. See, so let's compare adjectives. So let's say something about the noun in the adjective, and they're gonna use more or less. So let me remove my más menos, this is what I'm going to show you, más menos plus the adjective plus que. Here we have element 1 and here we have element 2. See? So let's see these examples. Enrique Iglesias es más alto que Juanes. See? Enrique Iglesias es más alto que Juanes. If you go back to or on the textbook, you'll see this information. Enrique Iglesias es más alto que Juanes. Gloria Estefan es más vieja, she's older. Es más vieja que Cristina Aguilera. And el pelo, Paulino's Rubio hair es más largo que el pelo de Cristina Aguilera. ¿Sí? And last one, Juanes es más informal que Rubén Blades. Obviously, I could say Juanes es menos alto que Enrique. So I could say something with menos instead of más, which we're going to say it in the next example. Those are adjectives. The adjective alto, it's saying something about Enrique. It's saying that Enrique Iglesias is taller than Juanes. The adjective vieja, old, It's saying this más vieja que is saying that Gloria Estefan is older than Cristina Aguilera. See? So we're putting together two elements to compare them. Let's continue now with adverbs, how they do actions, how do they do actions in this specific type of sentences that I brought to you. So look at that. Enrique Iglesias trabaja eficientemente. That's what we're saying. And they were saying that Juanes trabaja eficientemente. But we know we're gonna think that Enrique Iglesias trabaja más eficientemente que Juanes. So that's why we're saying we're putting eficientemente here, the adverb, in between más que to connect the information about how these two work. Okay, so Enrique Iglesias trabaja más eficientemente que Juanes. The conjugation showing here goes with the first subject. Okay, and there is no gender or number agreement in the adverbs. Let's go with Gloria Estefan and how she sings compared to how Ruben Blades sings. We say that in this case might not be true, but we're using this idea that Gloria Estefan sings less talentedly, in a talented way, than Ruben Blades. So Gloria Estefan canta menos talentosamente que Ruben Blades. See? So we're saying that the action that she performs is cantar. So we're talking now about Gloria Estefan, but about how she does the action of singing in this specific sentence. Paulina Rubio, she dances, ella baila. But we're saying that baila less artistically than Cristina Aguilera. So Paulina Rubio baila menos artísticamente que Cristina Aguilera. They work more rapidly, faster, more quickly than the singers, las cantantes. So how they do the action, see? So we're using adverbs to compare how the two subjects do the action. The action is the center of our comparison by using the adverbs. Muy bien. And in the last one, we're going to compare unequally, desigualdad. We're going to compare these artists by using direct objects. Okay, so let me show you these sentences. So we're saying that Enrique Iglesias is younger than Juanes. So let's see, come back here. Enrique Iglesias, he was born in 1975, and Juanes was born in 1972. So Juanes is older, right? So Enrique Iglesias tiene menos años que Juanes. That's correct. Now, Gloria Estefan sells albums. See, and we're saying here that she sells less than Ruben Blades. Let's compare. Gloria Estefan has sold 16 millions of albums, and wow, Ruben Blades has sold 75 millions. So this is correct. Gloria Estefan vende menos álbumes que Ruben Blades. Okay, and then let's go about how many Grammys Paulina Rubio and Cristina Aguilera have earned. We say Paulina Rubio, 0, and Cristina Aguilera, 5. Okay, so Paulina Rubio gana menos Grammys que Cristina Aguilera. So if we analyze this, so what we're saying here is in terms of the structure of the sentence is that Enrique tiene, I don't know how many years, and I don't remember how many years, but in the sentence number 2, we're saying that Gloria Estefan, she sells albums, and we're saying that Ruben Blades sells albums too. In the last sentence, we're saying that Paulina Rubio have been rewarded with 0 Grammys, and Cristina Aguilera has been rewarded with 6 or 5. They have earned. So what they have, what do they sell? What do they have? What do they earn? The answer to that is our direct object, and that direct object is the center of this comparison, okay? So in that regard, we're putting together the two direct objects of these two sentences together via comparison. Enrique Iglesias tiene menos años que Juanes. We're not specifying, we are comparing, and in that comparison, we are giving an almost the same, almost similar in the information. So Gloria Estefan vende menos álbumes que Rubén Blades, and Paulina Rubio gana menos Grammys que Cristina Aguilera. Okay, so we can say Paulina Rubio trabaja más que Cristina Aguilera, Juanes come menos. What this is comparing the action itself in terms of how they do it, more than or less than the other person. Not adverse that is describing the action, no, the action itself. This is what we have done. We are comparing, oh wait, I lost it. We are describing comparison, and then we have these elements. In terms of rules, we compare adjectives and adverbs, and we compare nouns. Those nouns can be direct object, or can be the subject of the sentence. See? And then in an equal comparison, we use más, menos. Here we put the adjective or the adverb. And in terms of equal comparison, we use tan, adjective, tan, adverb, como. And if it's noun, whether the noun is a direct object or a subject, we say, actually it's just direct object. We use the direct object right here. And based on the gender or the number of the direct object, we choose one of those versions. And we're going to use como to compare the second element to introduce it. And when we have verbs, we use the verb here, más, menos, que, in the second element there. And in terms of equality, we use the action here, and then we use tanto como, and then here we put the other element being compared. So those are the ideas. We already saw the sentences. Okay. Muy bien, chicos. Let's go to the textbook. Because you guys have more sentences in the textbook here. Adjective, tan amable como, see? And we have the formulas there. And a summary here. Spanish allows you to use a regular form and the irregular form at the same time. So the adjective irregulars are bueno, malo, viejo, and joven. And we use the regular form, más bueno, más malo, más malo, más bueno, más viejo, más vieja, más joven, más joven. Joven doesn't have the 4 versions. But then when the irregular form, we would not use más, okay? Or but it would use que. Mejor, peor, mayor, and menor. See, look at the example. Esta casa es mejor que esa. Rafael es peor que Luis. Me siento mejor hoy. Dormimos peor cuando hace calor. See? You guys can use the regular version or the irregular version. See? Mayor, which is older, and menor, which is younger, you can, and más joven, the regular version, and más viejo, the regular version, we can use them with inanimate objects. So Manuel es menor que Berta, yo soy mayor que Manuel, animated objects. San Jose, Costa Rica es más vieja. So to talk about how old the city is, we use the regular version. With inanimated items, we use the regular. With people or animals or animated objects, we use the irregular ones in those two. Okay.